Benny, going to take a look at your video from camp. I'm going to let it run through a couple times. The first time will be normal speed. The second time, slow-mo it. And then I'm going to come back and then we'll slow-mo it, break it down, and analyze, make some comments and some suggestions for you.
Benny Fegenbush Eldredge, class of 2029.
Okay, let's start right here from the very beginning here. Benny, when we have you guys give your name and your graduation right here, we want you to hustle into the ball game. So you do a good job right here. We just want you to create a habit where whenever it's time to kick, practice, game day, whatever, you got to hustle in to mark your spot. Get to your holder, and right here it looks like you're kicking off the ground. So you're going to get up there and hustle, and you're going to, in the game, obviously, there won't be a football. You'll be putting your foot there, your toe down, so you can mark the spot. So he could put his left hand, the fingers of his left hand down there on this spot there for you. So as you're jogging in, try to make a good habit. And you may be doing this here, but always kind of glance at your target as you're jogging in. That's the initial target. You're trying to get lined up from that target on back. So look at the target as you set your spot. Then once you set your spot, it wouldn't hurt right here. See when you get your, it looks like you do that. It's good. See your head popping up? It's a good job right there. See, as you mark your spot there, and keep your right foot now. Try to keep your right foot right in the very middle of that football. You're lining everything up off your right foot, so keep the foot right in the middle of the football there, okay? Looks like you might be off to the right just a little bit. But you're right here when you get lined up, you glance. So you're checking that center, and then you're going to start your steps back right there. Now, you're doing something on your steps. You don't look like you're taking really good, healthy steps back. You basically want to step back. When you're making those steps back, you want them to be just natural strides as if you're walking backwards. And you look like you're just taking tiny steps. You see how you're kind of starting. First of all, you're starting with the left foot. I would rather see you start with your right foot. So you're starting, there's 1, 2, and then you hardly take one right there. It's just a real small one there. They don't seem like normal walking steps back and the reason you do normal walking step, everybody has their own natural stride back, their own natural stride forward. If you're walking forward or walking back, you have a natural stride. When you walk a long ways, you're going to walk consistently the same way as you're walking a distance, going downtown, going to the mall, wherever you're walking. You have a natural stride. Same thing going backwards. If you were to walk the whole entire field backwards, you'd develop a natural stride. And that's what we're trying to get you to develop a natural stride here. So and then also you're lining everything off this right foot. So we'd rather see you take your first step with the right foot just directly back from it. So you're already there, then your second step, then your third step. Okay, so right here, and I like your gap in your feet right there because that's kind of about how wide your feet are when you walk. Might be a tad closer, but you're pretty close to it right there. So your first step ought to be so your step there is pretty straight. See how it comes right back into where it should be? Might drift a little to the left. And then this kind of comes back. So right here, just start back with the right foot. So it'll be 1, 2, 3. And then we want to try to take a fourth step. And I'll show why here in just a second. So these are going to go straight back. Straight back. And then there would be a fourth step. Okay, so start with that right foot. So it'll be your right, then your left, and then you're right again, and you take the fourth step is basically an alignment step. So right here, you're taking 3 steps. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that's fine. you want to do that. So if you're going to do that, have the first step with your right foot. Just the opposite. 1 would be your right foot. 2 would be your left foot. And then 3 would be your right foot again. Then you'd be lined up right there, 3 steps back. But again, you're not taking very good, healthy steps back. You're just not taking, it's just they look like they're too short. And I'll show you a reason why, too. Right here now, you take your lateral steps. These look good. Look pretty good. You're not too wide. Not too wide. See your hair out on the top of that fence line right there? I believe it's the fence. Here's something I'm looking at. There's like a line right there. See that? What's your hair? When you take it loud, you're barely going just a little bit. That line moves a little bit. But see that line right there on that fence? Your head's not dipping much. So those are right. Those are pretty comfortable steps. See, if you were taking too wide of steps, your head would dip down. So you're doing a pretty good job right there. So your lateral steps look good, although you're on the tip of this line here, but it looks like you're kind of coming up, and then I think you go up even a little bit more here. Let's watch you here. And see, you go up even more. And that's a curved line. So realistically, you ought to just be going straight across here. And keep your feet would be parallel to that line. But you're drifting upwards a little bit on these steps. Right there's a little bit, and I can see a slight turn your body, and then right here is even more. So now, and then you get here and watch what you do. Watch how you back your foot up. See how you back it up? Because you kind of naturally know you're a little tight to the ball. Okay, so let's improve these steps. Please consider starting with the right foot first, left foot, then right foot, then you have them together. And then you're going to do your lateral steps this way. You'll do your 2 lateral steps pretty much the way you're doing them. So let's take a nice walking step back, just like you're walking backwards. Okay, please do that. And that's going to get you a little more depth on the ball. Okay, and then you get here, you're making sure you have your foot, the football, and your target right here. Everything's in a straight line. It looks like you're doing a pretty good job there. Okay, so take the lateral step. And again, we want to do this parallel, right across. You're coming up a little bit. So let's improve that. And then see how you're turning your left foot right there. You're turning it prematurely. Go ahead and make a step, just like say that foot straight ahead. Say your foot straight right there, going toward the target. Make this step right here the same way. See, make it the same way, but you've got this foot now turned here. You wait to turn, go 2 lateral steps. They'll look identical to that right there. Lateral, and then do the same thing. You kind of change the second one there, and you turn your foot. And again, that's causing you to kind of drift up a little bit. Okay, so once you get here, once you get there, once you get here, then pivot your foot towards that spot. And you're aiming your left foot needs to be aiming toward where it's going to be planting. So right here, you want to have this foot aiming right towards here. And that's about where you're going to plant your foot. And it looks like you might have, I'm just looking at the sole of your shoe here. It looks like you're kind of aiming right here. So get this foot here, aiming here. And that's going to get your shoulders and everything aiming this direction. Okay? And then you look pretty good with your feet, the separation. I just think you're too close to the ball. I think your angle's probably good. This angle is decent, although you didn't remember you came up. You need to have a 90, and you've got a little bit of a decrease right here. So you're not doing a full 90-degree angle. Okay, you should be right about in here. You can just see again back here. Here's where your heel was. So your heel, it should be like right about where that line is right there. And let's just kind of see it. You can see how you end up too far up. And we're lining this foot here. Okay, that left foot. Your right foot's fine. It's back. It's just, but you ought to be lined up a little further back. Okay, we just got to work on that. And I'm confident. This was early in the camp, so I'm confident you've already improved on these things. But I just want to go over it again. Now get here, get in your stance. Right here, this is at the point you want to have most of your weight over this front foot. Again, have that foot aiming towards where it's going to plant. You want to try to have the back of your head, back of your neck lined up right there. You got a little bit of a bend here. See right here, you got a little bit of a bend here. And I'd like to see you have a little bit more body lean, kind of like right. Let's see, it's like you see. I would like to see you in your stance like this. Okay, so you're here. So when you get ready to go, you move your whole body. Watch how you move your upper body. Your leg stays the same, but you move your upper. You lean your whole body from the waist up. So go ahead and get it lined up now. Just get it right there. That's your stance right there. That looks like a good looking stance right there. But right here, see, you got your weight centered in your body, and I want it more leaning towards right there, where it's over that kicking leg, or your non-kicking leg, over your left leg. Okay? So you're going to be there. So right here, as soon as you get here, get into this stance right there. And your eyes are here. You're going to have your eyes here. Once you get in your stance, lock it in, then glance at your target, and then bring your eye right back down to the ball. And you're doing that, but you're doing that right here in this stand-up position. See how you're looking? And then you come back down, and as you look back down the ball, you start taking off. Just know, Benny, that's not going to be able to, that's not realistic in a game. When you look back down, like right here, when you look back down, that's when you have to tell the holder you're ready. You'll have a little head nod. And you'll have to hold your, and then you're going to need to stay in that position because you're going to give him a head nod. Then he's got to turn around and ask for the snap from the center. He's going to yell ready or whatever call it is. It's going to take a moment. He's going to turn after you give him a head nod. He's going to turn his head around, yell ready, and then the center. It's going to take 2 to 3 seconds for the center to hear the ready call, and he delivers the snap. And then at that moment, this left hand will come up. The left hand will hold it. The moment that ball is coming, the left hand's going to come up to catch the ball. At that moment, you're going to just lean at that point. You're going to start leaning and then take your first step. Okay? So right here, go over it again. Lateral, get in position. Foot aiming toward where it's going to plant, your left foot. Get in position. Get in this stance here. Here's your stance. Eyes are here. You're locked in your stance. Glance at your target. Come back down. Give him a head nod. He's going to turn, count 1001, 1002, 1003 at least. And then then the hand's going to come up. You're going to go. Right here, you're just kind of looking, coming right down and rolling. So get in this stance. Locked in, check your target, come back down, head nod, and stay in that same position momentarily to give him time. Left hand to come up, ready, and then the ball comes, and then you're going to go lean and take your first step. Okay? Now you're taking 2 steps right here. Your first step is right there with that right foot. Look how short that is. And it's because you're too close to the ball. It's just a little tiny step there, and then you're going at it. And you got a lot more power in you. And again, this was at the beginning of camp, so I'm confident again you've got this kind of worked out, but you need to be back. You probably ought to be back in here somewhere. Okay, so, and you see how you move this foot up? Let's see right here. Let's watch this right here. You're taking a true 2 steps right here. Now, generally, if you're in this position, if we get you back a little farther, if we can get you back here a little bit farther, you could either take these 2 steps or you could take a short jab and then then you could take a second step. So you could actually have a short jab, then your first step, your drive step, and then you could have your plant step. Okay, so think about that. If you want to do a 2-step, you still got to be back further. And generally, when you have a 2-step, a lot of times the feet are a little bit farther apart here. There's a little more separation there because when you take this step, you take just a tiny step. See, look how short that is. That's not even a full step. Look at your stride. You're not even in your stride. There's your stride right there more. That's not even all your stride. You're just not getting a whole lot on this drive step. There's just not a whole lot of power generated. Okay, so right here, if you're back a little bit further, it's going to help you. And then you can have this leg instead of here. It's going to be back maybe just a little bit. You'll have a little bit more separation right here between the 2 legs. And then when you take the one step, it'll be pretty much a full step. And then you'll have your plant step with this, you'll have your plant step, okay? So if you'll do that, you'll have, if you have your foot back a little farther, instead of having this short step, you'll have a little bit longer, you'll have a little bit longer stride with that first step, okay? So you're just taking 2 steps, and that's okay if that's what you want. I'll just tell you this, most of your kickers, most of your NFL guys, a lot of them take jab steps. You might find some older, guys that's been in the league a long time. They might take just a 2-step. But even if they're taking a 2-step, they'll tend to bend that leg a little bit as they're taking their first step. And it might not be a jab, but it's almost the same effect. But the jab step helps you to transition to that first full step. So we again, get everything backed up a little bit, and it'll help kind of decide whether you want to stay with a 2-step or a jab step. Now right here, you make your plant. Your plant, it's in the shadow there. Had a bright sunny day there. A good view, but it doesn't help you on the shadow. But your foot needs to be, make sure that foot looks like it is. Plant foot's aiming towards the target. It looks like, let's see right here. Looks like you don't want to be any further from the ball. If anything, you might be a little far from the ball, but that's a personal preference, and helps also. It's helped determine by the foot size. You look like your plant's pretty good. Your foot, basically your foot is going to be alongside the football, about the foot length away from it. Okay, the length of your foot away from the ball, and your plant, the heel is going to be kind of towards the back of the ball, so it lines up where the middle of your left ankle, if you look down, if you're standing over the ball on the plant, the middle of your left ankle and the middle of the football are lined up together. So you look like you've done a pretty good job there, okay, on the plant. Now on your arm here, your right arm, get this arm, you got it kind of bent right here. Just let this arm just kind of hang right here. Just let it hang. Don't let it do anything. You don't want to flex it or bend it. Just let it hang here. It's just serving as like a part of helping your body stabilize and be balanced right here. Okay. And then also right here on your left arm, just kind of keep it out to the side and bring it across your chest. Out to the side, across your chest. Let's see how it does right here. See right there, you kind of got it, and you kind of got it bent too. So you got your arms bent. Just let this one go, instead of right here, just let the whole arm hang just kind of right here throughout the kick. Just let it just kind of hang and help you with your balance. Let this arm come out to the side and come across your chest, and it comes across your chest. Kind of what you're doing here. It's a counterbalance. What you come across with your leg. See how your leg comes up and your left arm comes across. It helps you counterbalance. It helps you generate, keeps your body, as you make contact with the ball, generate all the power down the field. Okay? So you'll make sure you do that. Looks like you're making pretty good contact with the ball. Let's kind of back off here a little bit. You basically want to keep your foot kind of, your heel, your toe is slightly below your heel. And it looks like you're doing a pretty good job there. Again, it's in the shadow there. It's a little harder to see, but you look like you have your foot in pretty good position there. It looks like you hit the ball pretty good. You do tap the ground a little bit, but you tap it in the right spot. It's kind of hitting it. It's kind of rubbing on this part of your foot right there. And that kind of happens. It looks like you just barely tap it. See right there, you just hit. That's pretty good. You want to just kind of keep that toe down. Get the toe down just a little bit more. I think that will help you there. And again, I think you might be reaching. See, you got a little bit of a gap right here. I think you might be a little wide to the ball right there, just a little bit. And then right here, as you come through, notice right here, you don't skip. See right here, this foot is not, your left foot is just stuck on the ground. Left foot's stuck right there. And when you don't skip, your kicking leg it starts up this direction toward the left shoulder, and then it'll quickly go across the waist and back down to the ground. Let's watch, see if yours does that. See, watch right here. Goes up, and here it comes across the waist, and then it's right back down on the ground. Now you've crossed it right there. And this might be something you've done in soccer, but you got to keep, on this, you want to basically, when the leg comes right here, as it gets towards your waist, it's continuing up. See, it's going up toward that left shoulder. Then let this foot right here let this foot right here, let it skip in that same direction. And it'll land right over in front over there as it's going the same. So the momentum of the body right here, it's going this way. The leg, the momentum is going this way right here. Then that skip is going to follow that same path and just skip right over, and it will land. It should land on the ground a little bit right here, allowing you to get your full follow through. And you do a pretty good job of the follow through for not skipping. But it's going to give you more power and control. But see, you're done with the kick. All your power stopped. Your power stopped right there. It's gone. It's done. There's no more power because your leg now has to. You're not getting the leg through as fast as you could because right here it's slowing down already after the ball's gone. So you can maintain your balance and bring your leg over. Okay. So you're doing some good things and some things you can fix. I'm sure you already fixed. Okay, but you want to make sure you work on all these little aspects of it. Again, right here, let's start back with your right foot. Just a little quick rehash. Start back with your right foot instead of your left. Then 1, 2, 3. You could do a 4-step if you want. I'll show that to you on another clip. Then you got laterals. We got to make sure it's a 90. You're bending it forward a little bit. Then we want to get in your stance here. Get in your stance. We said this is your stance, right? This is a good stance here. Your weight's there, and you're going to lean. You'll lean and begin right here at this point when when the hand comes up, and the ball snap hand comes up. Your body's going to lean to your step, and then you'll begin your steps right here. So right as the ball comes up, your body's going to be right in this position, and then you're going to lean right there. Drive to it. Left hand's coming out. Come up through the ball. Okay, good job at the camp. Hey, Benny, I got a little extra comparison for you here. This is a split screen with the gentleman on the left is a very talented college kicker, just completed his eligibility, set all kinds of records, was special teams player of the year for his conference. I'm just kind of froze this. I'm going to teach backwards a little bit here. I got it frozen right here at the ball foot contact right here. Got you guys locked in. You can kind of see the position right here of this body. You can kind of see what I was talking about earlier with you on your arms. So see how he's got his arm kind of straight. You could have it down like this or have it up like this. It seems more natural for you to have yours kind of out right here because that's what seem like you're doing anyway, but you're bending it right here. Try to just get it straight out. So it can be down like his, or it can be just out straight like this, but don't bend at the elbow. Your right arm, you can see right here how he's got it just down to the side right there, and you've got yours up here bent. So let's get this right arm kind of hanging down like this, okay? And just let it hang. It's just going to help balance your body. Don't let it do anything. Just kind of hang there, okay? And then you can see the plant. You look like you're pretty similar here. You don't have as much of a drawback right here. You got to work on flexibility there, but also part of that is because you're not skipping when you're finished. He skips when he finishes, and so he can get a lot more power generated right here. So it says watch as he makes contact right here. Notice your foot position. You can kind of see what I was talking about earlier. I'm looking for your foot to have a slight angle. You can see how his is right here. He's got it kind of rolled a little more forward right there. You can see his foot position there on the ball. We'll just kind of zoom in on it right there, and you can see it right there. You're pretty close, but I think your heel's up a little low. Your heel's a little low. Your toe looks like it's a pretty good place. And the reason I think your toe's in a good place because you touch the ground just a little bit. So it's not going to be able to go much lower. And you do kind of catch a little bit of that front panel on the right. You see the ball kind of go. See how it noses over? It's kind of crooked right there right off the bat. So you might catch it just a little bit. But there's, that's just something, all these things we're talking about, it's going to help improve that. And then watch as you make contact. And then here's where we're going to talk about the skip step right here. Watch how he skips. Watch his kicking leg. You're all similar legs, similar position, but watch what happens here. And see his arm. See, he's got that arm hanging down. He's letting that thing be like a little, he's letting this be a balance for him right here. It's just bouncing right there. And he's going to bring that. And then right there, you can see where he skips, right? See where he's skipping, and you're not skipping. Watch his left leg, left plant leg. Watch yours. He skips right there. See how he skips? And see, I can't even see his leg on the left, but I can see yours. Yours is coming and whipping all the way around to the other side. So we really want to work on that skip step. This is a great video for you to see this. And I know he's very talented, a lot more years on him. He's a lot older, but it's a great model for you to see. And you can dramatically make this adjustment and start skipping, and now start developing some more power immediately. But see, I finishes. Look how he's in control. Watch how he skips, finishes in control of his body, and the kick's done. See how you're kind of just fading away to the left right here. And look at him. He's watching the fly of his ball now. And seeing you're walking away, he's still focused on that finish. So work on this finish, okay? Now we're going to take this thing back, reduce this down, take you guys back to the very beginning here. Let you work on your, okay, get you up to the ball here. We'll get him up to the ball. Now here's what I was talking about earlier on your steps. Okay, you're pretty good position. Look at your feet. Your feet are great position. I really like how you got your feet natural. Now watch what he does here on his steps back. Okay, watch him right here. 1, start with his kicking foot. 2, 3, 4. And on that 4th step, all he's doing, taking that extra step now, he's making sure his right foot, the ball which is in front of his hip, the target, all 3 things are lined up. His kicking foot, which is in front of the leg, right? He's making sure kicking foot, ball, target, everything's all lined up. That's all he's doing. Okay? Once he does that, then watch him. He takes his foot up here, and he's got his feet straight ahead. And right here, see, you start with the opposite foot, and you're not near far back. You're just little tiny baby steps. So we're going to get that straightened out. So once you get back to here, you can just see the dramatic difference in how far back he is and how far you are. And I'll even size it up there a little bit for you to see it. So you can see how close you are to the holder and look how far he is. Okay, so that's just something we got to work on. And then watch what he does on his lateral steps. He goes, watch how clean his lateral steps are. Look how identical they are. And see how his foot right here doesn't turn? Watch it right there. See how he keeps them straight? 1, 2. Watch yours right here. 1. Okay, you turned your foot there. Okay, and watch how true he is on his steps. He's making sure he's got a 90-degree angle. He's making sure he stays there. His angle, that's a 90. Yours is kind of like this. You need to make it a true 90. Okay? It's got to be 90 right there. That puts you in a consistent spot every time if you do a true 90-degree angle. Okay, so here's you are right there. So there's how you turn your foot there. So get yourself in position. Now watch what he does. You kind of do this pretty good. Now you're pivoting. See how you pivot? This looks pretty good right here. You're pivoting right there. Okay. Watch how he does it. He goes lateral, stays right there. They look identical. These steps look identical. Look, identical, identical. And then he pivots here, and you do a little bit of this. And then watch now, he turns the foot. Now he's got the foot aiming. He's got his foot aiming right towards where it's going to plant. Okay. Now his feet, see how wide his feet are right here? And watch how he brings it up. If you're going to truly take 2 steps, your feet are probably going to be about like this. Be a little bit, maybe not that wide, but they're going to be closer. They're going to have maybe up here just a little bit. But watch what he does here. He moves his foot back up here. Now he's in his stance. Now watch him get in his stance. Now he's in his stance right here. And that's where I was telling you need to be. See, right here, you're standing up. And then you bend down. Say you're standing up. So we need to get you in a stance. See, now right there, you're more of the stance that you need to be in. Now watch his head. He gets here. He's in his stance. From back here all the way to here. Okay, he's in his stance. And then right here, he's checking the target. Watch him look back down at the holder. He's looking at the holder now. See, his head looks down at the holder and he stays right there. Watch the holder's head. When he looks back at the holder, he's looking at his target, checking his target. He looks back at the holder. So right here, he's already done this, checked, looks back down here, the holder. And when he does that, checks, looks at the holder, he's letting him know, nods, watch the holder's head turn. And see how the kicker, he has to stay in his position. He has to wait in the position. He has to wait until that ball is snapped. Then once the ball comes, the left hand comes up, and then look how he leans. The left hand comes up, he leans. So there's a moment, 2 to 3 second moment there between nodding at your holder, and he has to call for the snap to come. So work on that timing. And he begins this, and then here's his jab step. And he leans, and he keeps that back of his heel, leg, everything all on a line, back of his neck. He maintains that position from his lean to the jab. Now he takes a jab step, something I'd like to see you try. He just does a little jab step, jab step, jab step, and then he comes to his drive. Now look how much watch his drive step here. See his drive step? And that jab step, see where the jab takes, look how wide his feet are right here. So if you're going to do a one step, your feet need to be similar to something like this, right? How he is there, because right now if you're taking a one step, it's going to look like this. So right now, this will be how your one step would look. Okay, so he takes a jab. So if you're taking a one step, you need to be in a stance similar to what he is in right now. And there's your stance. Your feet need to be a little wider apart. Look at your first step. Look how short it is. See how short it is? It's partly because you got your legs so far up here and you're not taking a jab. Your legs clear up here. So if you're going to take that one step, if you're going to do a two-step, you need to have this foot back a little bit further like he is. And have your legs, the back of your heel, all the way back of your neck lined up. So if you want to do the two-step, there's the stance right there, and this is how you'll do it right here. There's two steps right there. So if you want to do that, if you want to do a jab step, your stance is going to be like this, and you'll do a little jab, then full step, plant and kick. Okay, again, so right here, he's taking, so here's your position right here, and look at your first step, how short it is. And that's just because, Benny, you're just too close to the ball. And then you want to take that, get your step lined up there. And then when you take that step, you can kind of see how he flows into it there. You just kind of, he's right. Okay, there he is in his stance. Ball snapped. He's going to take 1, 2. Okay, and then make sure we work on that skip step. Okay, so work on this. So I kind of broke it all down for you to give you an idea, and I'm going to let you just kind of watch him. I'm going to let you watch him one more time right here. 1, 2, 3. There's his 4-step for alignment. Then he brings his foot back. So he's only taking 3 steps. He takes this 4th step right here. See, this is 1, 2, 3. That ought to be your steps. But if you'll take the 4th step, you can do that alignment where you take your right hand and just kind of raise it up to make sure your football, your right foot, the football, and the target are all lined up. Then you bring it right back down. Then he brings his foot back up to the side right here. And then he does his lateral, lateral, lateral. He pivots, points his left foot toward the point where he's going to plant it. Okay. He brings his foot up. He's now in his stance. He checks the target. He stays in his stance. Got weight leaning forward. Checks the target. The holder nods to the holder. The holder calls for the snap. The moment the snap comes, his body leans. See how he leans to the step? He's leaning to his jab here. But now this is the position you're going to be in right here because you're taking 2 steps. So if you decide to just stick with your 2 steps, then it's going to be right here. Then your next step is going to be a pretty long one right here. It's going to be a drive step. Plant step, plants toward the target, finish, and then skip. Work on the skip, Benny. Work on the skip. It's going to make a big difference in you, buddy. Again, great job at the camp.